They play hard. You got to tip your hat to them. They definitely play hard. You can't go freaking bear hunting with BB guns.
There's goal tomorrow. We don't win today.
My name is Mike Zagurski. I am a left-handed pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. I was born in Omaha, Nebraska. Played my college baseball my first 2 seasons at Hutchinson Community College, and then my following 2 seasons at the University of Kansas. Like you said, I kind of got off the plane, I guess, and got to the airport. And the first thing I remember is we got off the terminal, there was a Cheers bar. I remember seeing the Cheers bar, and I was laughing because I'm a big fan of Cheers, the TV show, and I saw the bar, and kind of took me a minute to register that it's probably not the same one that's in Boston, but thought it was kind of interesting. Our host families picked us up there and went back to their place, and kind of as we were driving through the city, they were kind of giving me a quick, play-by-play, and they talked about the Iditarod, how it went through, a certain part of it, and things like that. So that's one of the first few memories I have of it. Dave and Penny Foreman, he was actually was part of the team, or the league statistician and the Pilots broadcaster. Dave was, and Penny was a great host mom, and their son Reed. And I also spent a lot of time over at Wild Bill's house. He was been a host man for a lot of years, and with his steak rewards for good play and things. So spent a lot of time over there as well. He has a reward sheet, separate for pitchers and hitters, and can earn yourself steaks for good play. Multi-hit games or multi-strikeout games, things like that. I think it started way before he was a host family, and kind of stuck with him. And he was crazy, I think, back in the day. Maybe had a good time. So we found out he went by Wild Bill and just kept calling him it. And I don't know, he cooked some pretty good steaks. It didn't matter what it was. He could cook a T-bone. I would say it'd probably be the bread and butter. I think a lot of it was the mystique of the place. I think you think of summer baseball, and I think the first couple places you think of are the Cape and the Alaska Baseball League. So from that standpoint, it was a great opportunity for me to get a chance to improve my skills and see a part of the country I probably would have never seen had I not been there for baseball. Some was I just needed to pitch a little bit, to kind of develop some breaking balls, and I was fortunate enough to have Jamie Bloom and Chris Didion as my coaches, who a big part of my success now. I mean, he actually kind of taught me my slider that I use, to this day. And like I said, Chris, Didion-wise was, as a manager, was as confident as positive as could be. I mean, didn't matter if you get 10 runs or threw a complete game shutout, he treated you the same the next day in the locker room or after the game in the locker room. And I think they were able to kind of help me, probably almost build confidence, which helped in turn my pitching and developing as a player. So from that standpoint, it was a great summer for me. I don't know. I think probably the Bucks would be the easy answer. I think being both teams in Anchorage, we wanted to be the better one, and I think actually that year they got us. I think we maybe beat them a few more times, but I think they finished a little bit higher, and I think they actually went to the NBC. So I guess from that standpoint, we probably beat them a few more times, but they ended up where we wanted. So I'd say that would probably be one of the better rivalries we had up there. I think the people of Anchorage either pick the Pilots or the Bucks, which is a little different for us when we come in there. I had a guy I played with in college that was on the Bucks actually, so it was a little different. I think once we got on the field and we kind of understood when they explained to us the rivalry, we kind of took to it and knew that when it was time to play for the Mayor's Cup, it was something we wanted to win and things like that. But I think for the most part, like you said, we're there for kind of a short time, and everybody's there to kind of get better and improve themselves for their upcoming college seasons. I think the experience that you have there is great. I think it's good quality baseball. It's a different way of life. You're quite a bit away from everything else. I think you don't have your family and stuff that can just fly out and see pretty easily. I think Alaska's a little bit harder trip to get to than the New England area. So, geez, it's a good question. I got to the Bingo Hilton and it had actually just been remodeled the previous year, I guess. So it was quite a bit nicer than the Fairbanks trailers, I guess. But like I said, it was part of the experience, and staying up playing cards with the guys, and I knew how to groundskeep from college, I guess. So yeah, we did a little bit of work on the field. I remember taking the nail dragger on the infield and trying to beat up the infield because it was kind of hard for our infielder. So did a little bit of ground screw work while I was there as well. I think I lived in more of the city, I guess, so I didn't see a whole lot of bears and things. I recall one on the way to the ball field one day we saw a bear, which was a little bit different for me. I'm not used to seeing bears walking around, so that was a little bit different. But, we saw a few hot foots in the dugout, lighting people's shoes on fire and things like that. But we kept it pretty clean for the most part while we were on the field. I remember we had quite a few injuries that summer. A lot of guys kind of got hurt, so we brought some other guys in and sent some guys out and things like that. And it, I think by the end of that summer we didn't have, but pretty much just enough to fill a team. That was about it. So it was towards the end of the summer there, it got a little thin on players, so it was hard to play practical jokes, I guess. Didn't want to lose the last guy we had. Like I said, Chris Diddy and Jamie Blumore were my coaches up there, who I still talk to this day on a fairly frequent basis. My shortstop in Alaska was Richie Price, who was my roommate through college, who I still talk to. Today he's actually a college coach now. So, Eric Wardekemper, Mike Polk, some other guys that are still in the minor leagues playing that I still kind of talk to fairly frequently, and it's kind of nice. Met some of my good friends up there.